Adil today. So Adil has been, I mean, he's always been fit. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि he suddenly got fit and everything. But he's always been fit. But now recently he's got into serious exercising. So we wanted to speak to Adil and how he went from, I mean, he told me just now he's always been doing push-ups, but abhi suddenly there has been. So how many push-ups have you done now, Adil?
Yeah, so 2 days ago, I had done about 100 push-ups in 4 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay.
So, yeah, my target was to do under 5. So I achieved that target. Now, looking forward to, below 4 minutes and then going forward from there.
And you don't, I mean, looking at you, I would say you are 25, 26, but I don't think you're 26.
No, I'm 46.
46.
Yeah. So
I mean, one thing very, very important, I think, these, like we were discussing, the limitations we set for ourselves, especially with age. So my experience is, my performance has, because I've been doing weight since the age of 18, 19. So, but I have seen now I'm doing more weights than what I was doing when I was 25, 26. So what has your experience been with these?
I think very similar. I think very, very similar, because I've been exercising on and off all my life. I mean, it's been on and off, but then the off period sometimes with work and family and all that, it can be, changed. Like it's off for 5 days, or off for 1 month, or off for even 1 year. Yeah, but then again something happens, again you get back. So I think the main thing in, we're not only talking about push-ups here, but general health wise, I think the main thing is consistency. So if you're doing some exercises, I think if you're consistent, then it doesn't matter if you're doing 5 initially, because I couldn't do even 5 push-ups. I couldn't even do 5 push-ups just lately. I mean, I had a big gap in between. And just before the first lockdown, I couldn't do 5 push-ups.
Oh.
So I started doing a little bit consistency, and then right now I'm at 100. And then first I started off with doing 100 push-ups a day. That's what some of the mentors were guiding us. So I thought, yeah, why not take it a step further and do 100 in half an hour? So then I started doing 100 in half an hour. Then I used to also parallelly see a lot of videos, and I mean, it's not a big deal actually. If you open YouTube, you can see people doing 100 push-ups in 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. So it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's just a point of consistency, and then you just go with the flow. Yeah, so that's about it.
So there is this term when you look at muscle building also. So there is this term which is called progressive overload. I love that term. So because now we'll talk about advanced things, but what you're talking about is progressive overload. Because if you straight away, somebody who's listening to this talk, straight away they want to do 100. That is the problem I've seen.
Exactly.
So how much time did it take for you to reach from 5 to 100?
So I mean, to be very frank, if I had done the consistency, because after 5 hours still not consistent. Yeah, so it depends on each person to person, but doing 100 was actually not a big deal. So you can probably, I mean, I could probably do it in the first 10 days. Why? Because I've been doing push-ups in the past 20 years. So that's a big difference. Yeah, but if a person who's just starting off, if he does first 5 push-ups, then I don't know, anything between a month or so, he could easily achieve the 100 number.
Yeah. And muscle memory, yes, Dr. Prabha, you're right, muscle memory. And so from not exercising to starting to exercise, because when we talk about muscle building, there are 2 things. One is muscle gain. A lot of people say muscle gain, weight gain. So people come and say, I want to gain weight. So I say, you're better off not having a lot of weight, but you would rather gain muscle and lose fat.
Exactly.
So when comes to muscle gain, exercise is a very important part. For weight loss, we always say, don't worry about exercise. Do exercise for higher purposes, for mind. I was going through something today morning. So he says our brain is only 2% of our body weight and uses 20% of our calories and 50% of oxygen. So our brain is what we need exercise for. So अगर हम exercise की बात करेंगे, so what really got you started to exercise? Like you had a gap, big gap.
Yeah. So I mean, firstly, I always like to look good. Yeah. So if you have a slight paunch, also, I mean, it doesn't look good, right? So so that was the first motivation level was my body itself. So I mean, since I didn't exercise that much, I mean, for the past 1 year or so, I could feel the extra love handles in the sides, and I could feel a slight paunch coming up. So I mean, that was my first motivation, and second motivation is I'll always tend to look on the healthier side. So eating right, and then I learned a lot about nutrition. Yeah, thanks to mentors like you, Navneet, Sukanya, Manoj. So I think that also helped a lot. I mean, with a wrong nutrition, you could probably do push-ups if you're talking about push-ups right now, but with the right nutrition, you can stretch that limit, and you can really, take it one step higher. So I think these two factors of wanting to look good, presentable, and also my love towards health habits. So I think these two pointers, made me start looking into exercising seriously.
Good, good. And now we have a lot of people here, and now the next obsession for me for the last 6 to 8 months, what I have seen is muscle building, and I think the friends, the health conscious group we are into, for every one of us has lost a lot of weight, men and women.
Correct.
In fact, there are some people on this call who started their journey to gain weight. So gain weight, when I say gain weight, I mean gain muscle. So how much protein have you been taking for you to really get active? Because I have seen when you have a very high carb diet, you can't even exercise. Forget, putting on muscle. Exercise.
Correct.
So, kitna
So-
protein you are doing?
So I mean, to be frank, I have not measured it, but from my experience, I don't even think I am still closer to my ideal, what WHO standards also say that it's 1 gram per body weight, 1 kg of body weight. I don't think I'm still there in spite of being a non-vegetarian. So, and being a Parsi, so Parsis love eggs. So everything
Yeah.
is with eggs. So I've been always consuming eggs, uh, and about 2 or 3 times in a week, say chicken. Uh, but I also noticed that the combination foods has really improved in my physique. So what I mean by that is, first I used to think only protein is important.
Yeah.
But protein with digestible good fats, I mean, it doesn't digest very well. So it doesn't matter if you take a lot of protein, but you have to combine it with good fats, and that I learned. I mean, of course, from the mentors, from you, and also some of the videos which I often see and follow on YouTube. And then, of course, this the health program which we are also conducting, that also helped a lot. I mean, to realize what are the combinations of complex carbs, good fats, proteins, etc. So I mean, ideally, I would think that 1 kg, body weight for 1 gram of protein per 1 kg of body weight should be there. But I think the results have now increased. If you're exercising, it should be nearly 1.5 to 2. But I'm not there as yet. So because I still need to build muscle a lot, so I still require that more.
Yeah, because the more muscle, the base if you have your in your body weight, if your muscle percentage is more, then you can afford to even eat more carbs because your base metabolic rate goes up. But I think there are two things, like you rightly said. One is about 1.5 to 2 grams of protein. We've been doing that, I think about 1.7, 1.8 grams of protein per body weight. And I think the starting point is to measure. Like, you don't measure, but you know what to eat. Because in the even BK45 program, I think if somebody does it properly, which you did, so you'll end up eating one per.
Correct.
One
Yeah.
gram. So I think that is one. Second important thing is how to synthesize the protein you're eating. एक बात है to get in protein. Other thing is वो हिंदी में जैसे बोलते हैं लगना चाहिए body. Body should absorb protein. So if you're over 35, if you're crossed 40, if you're crossed 50, so one thing I would say is muscle wastage should be a major concern. How to stop muscle wastage? Like, I'm sure you must be having omega-3 fatty acids.
Yes.
So omega-3, 1 gram, you need at least 1 gram to stop the wastage, and 2 to 3 grams to start building. If you are below 20 years, I think it's the best age to build muscle. The best thing is the protein usage still can be 1.5 to 1.7 grams, but your synthesis goes up. You don't, if you're below 20, if you're 25, teens, even 20 to 30, the best thing is that's the best time to build muscle, because there are some young people, so I'll talk about the early part also. So 1.5 to 1.7 grams of protein. If you can do complex carbs, even moderate amount of simple carbs. You don't eat sugar, Radhi, or you started eating?
No, I eat sugar, but not. I mean, I'm very cautious about it, but I do eat sugar.
Good. So with even at above 40, people can handle sugar. I think we'll do a separate seminar on why sugar is bad. But I think we don't have to punish ourselves by not having sugar at all. So I think 20 sugar is fine. To some extent, whatever I say is moderation. Complex carbs are good. I think teens complex carb vegetables is very important, because mass will not come without vegetables. And now I see there is no vegetables in the diet. We never had, actually. I remember when I was young, I never had vegetables. India, we don't have that culture of 5, 6 colors of different colors of vegetation. Now we'll talk about amino acids also. You are a non-vegetarian, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. So you've done any study on the vegetarian sources of protein?
Not really, but I mean, like soya and just. So I've not done any depth of this thing. But generally, I don't know how good the outside soya is. So is it good, bad? So that's another questionable thing.
Soy, the problem is most of the soy which is there in the market, it's not. It's genetically modified, and the quality of soy is not so good in India and in US. These two countries we know about. Quality of soy is not high. Only like I have a lot of soy protein flavonoid, but that is from organic source soy, non-GMO soy. But from the market, dangerous. 1+6 has asked any preference to whey protein or plant-based protein. Now there are studies which say if you have post-workout, whey will be maybe a little more beneficial. These are the latest studies. But they say plant-based protein is also good enough. There are plant-based protein, but don't try to get protein from one source when it comes to plants. Vegetarian sources mein kya hai? There are 9 essential amino acids we need. and 12 non-essential. Vegetarian sources में क्या problem हो जाता है? Entire profile of amino acids is not. सारे के सारे 9 amino acid एक food से नहीं मिलते हैं. So we need to have a different color vegetables. In fact, Navneet has done some talks on Insta on different color of vegetables we need. So if you are a non-vegetarian, egg is the best source of protein. But even with eggs, we need to supplement. So like Adil just said, at the cost of repetition. So how many eggs do you have, Adil, now?
I just have 2.
2, good. So I would suggest try really increasing the eggs, and along with 2 eggs also you are supplementing.
Correct. So it's 2 eggs and then chicken and then vegetables and some good fats and plus supplement by whey protein after workout. So
one it is happening. So if somebody wants to do 1.5 to 1.7 grams of protein, uske bina muscle banega bhi nahi. The kind of muscle we want, we need that kind of protein. So I think unless we have specific questions, the first step for most of the people here would be to start measuring your protein. For me, I used to get these cramps. So I was really worried about these cramps. Kya ho raha hai? Ye cramps kyun ho rahe hain? Because I had to do very good workout and I was worried about these cramps. And I think 2-3 days after I increased my protein to 1.5 to 1.6 grams per kg, my cramps pure theek. My activity level went up. Second thing is how to use intermittent fasting with protein synthesis. I think very, very key. हम लोग कभी-कभी we talk about protein, we talk about even supplementation. लेकिन then we see this guy on the road जो road पे काम करता है. देखा होगा ना आदिल? And he's all fit and muscular.
Full six pack.
So how does that happen? That is because वो बीच में जैसे हम लोग चाय पी लिया. So we have to. I think you are doing intermittent or not? Really?
Yes. Yeah. So I just eat 2 meals and nothing in between. So it's from 12 o'clock I eat 1 meal and then 8 o'clock or before 8 I eat the second meal.
Okay.
So I think that also I started off when I started exercising seriously, and I think it made a big difference in my energy levels as well. So I mean that was one of my questions as well. So is it good for muscle building, or how does it work? Because we always know that when exercising, people tend to eat 6 to 8 meals even during gymming or working out. So that was one of my questions. If you could throw some light on it as well.
Yes, there was. I mean, now when we see there is this. Sometimes we oversimplify things, and protein and muscle is something which people really have oversimplified. हाँ मालूम है ज़्यादा खाओ और ज़्यादा exercise करो muscle, but that is not true. Again, when we talk about synthesizing of protein, then there are different pathways in our body. Yeah, Manoj. So there are different pathways. There is mTOR pathways, and there are AMPK pathways. ये जब तक ये pathways activated नहीं है, हमारा protein हमें लगेगा. And the whole when you are having multiple, there are 2 ways of looking at things. One is the metabolic way of looking at things, and other is the mechanical way of looking at things. Now, mechanical way is आपने जैसे bicep बनाने, so you are doing bicep curls, and then you get some biceps, and you're happy about it. That's good. So, and the other way of getting biceps is by doing only compound exercises. You do only compound exercises and you get biceps. That's the second way. Third is eccentric. The negative curls you do, everything negative. Likewise, for muscle to really go up, one way to do it is you just take a lot of protein. When you are under 25, it's very simple. take a lot of protein, take a lot of complex carbs, have good fat, you're good to go. Have a very good exercise routine, exercise program. Very, very important to have the right weight program. When you cross 30, 35, then these things come into play, like intermittent fasting. Now, Manoj just said intermittent fasting with protein. So, Manoj, actually, without having enough protein, you cannot do intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting also important is to learn how to break a fast also. Because I did, and Raman here on the call, he is doing a lot of intermittent fasting. I was doing a lot. Now also I'm doing, but not like I was doing 20 hours of fasting and 4 hours of eating. Now I've brought it down. मैंने क्या देखा मेरा weight बढ़ने लगा. So then I did some study. Why my weight? I'm doing 20 hours of fasting, and I am my caloric. This thing is also weight too बढ़ रहा. Then I studied. I found out when you're on a fasted state, and especially when you worked out fasted, so your cells are very, very insulin sensitive. They are super sensitive to food. What you eat after a fast becomes very important. And what you eat before a fast becomes very important. So, Manoj, very good question. If you are not having enough protein in your diet and you are going in for a fast, you will waste your muscle. If very, very important when you are fasting to have the right kind of. And we have seen people who've gone into intermittent fasting for a longer period of time, body has adjusted to it. And as soon as they have come out of it, then they had to pay the price. So muscle loss is a major concern. We need to really take that care. And how can we get introduced to? Yeah, we can, Pooja, you can connect with the person who's invited you, and they can guide you on the programs. And so now for Adil, back to Adil, sorry. So what is your next goal now in terms of muscle building and exercise?
So I mean, my next goal, of course, in push-ups is to go below 4 minutes or even lower. And then I would start also with pull-ups. So that's my another goal. My goal would be to again do about 50 push-ups in less than 5 minutes. Right now I can't even do 3. So that's the goal. And then a little long-term goal would definitely, once in my life at least, I want proper 6 abs. So that's my goal.
Yes, good goal. And I think a lot of people want that. And again, it's not that difficult. Only thing is, people think it's about doing crunches. It's not.
Yeah.
मेरे ठीक ठाक आ गए. I've seen diet again and compound exercises, and you work on the Carb Manager app. I mean, you entered your values in the Carb Manager app.
No.
That really helps. We've seen once you start adding into the Carb Manager, and if you can reduce your carbs below 80, if you can come, I think that's the way to good carbs. But I did that. My mistake was I didn't increase my fat and protein to that level. वो बहुत जरूरी. So I think that is very, very important. So I mean, I did that 100 pull-ups a day for 30 days. That was a very interesting thing to do. So मेरा यहाँ injury हो गया. I won't suggest everyone to do it. So, but I think these programs really help, and I could do it because of the right nutrition again. So in terms of nutrition, what would you suggest a new person who's like first time on this call and they want to be from fat to fit, not even from lean to muscle building? So have enough knowledge in this field now. So somebody who's overweight, is it possible to directly become muscular, or they have to go through the journey of becoming lean first and then putting up muscle?
I think it's very true. I mean, nothing can happen in a day. So I mean, it's just a journey. Yeah. So because everyone who looks at someone would think, अरे मैं कर दूंगा यार, कुछ नहीं, मैं अभी फाड़ दूंगा, and मैं 50 push-ups मार दूंगा. And I mean, nothing happens in a day. So as you mentioned, I think to lose fat, I think for me or for any person who has really a lot of percentage of fat should drastically reduce their carbs. I mean, I'm talking about simple carbs. I think that helps a lot. I've not eaten chapati. I don't know, for close to 1.5 years, I think. So I think that helps. Uh, and rice, I mean, thoda sa rice kha leta hu. I mean, biryani ho ya. I mean, if it is like this, I just eat a little bit. But it's easier for me because I was never a rice eater that much. I was always a more of a chapati eater, so that was not a problem. But I think if you reduce your simple carbs, I think it makes a huge difference. And then, of course, then the second step would be a balanced diet of complex carbs, proteins, and good fats, and of course, fiber. Yeah. So I think if you combine these together, I think it really makes a huge difference. So I think
Yes, yes.
that's the way.
No, no, absolutely. Like you mentioned, chapatis. I mean, I'm Punjabi, so we like parathas, and I haven't had parathas or roti for a long time. So when we talk to people, they say, "Arey, roti nahi khayega to kya khayega?"
Exactly.
And some people tell me in their schedule, I see roti. And my belief is if you are having enough protein, you will not have any capacity to eat rotis.
Yeah, correct. The urge is not there.
Urge
You're
is
right.
not there, and you can't have it because you're so full with the veggies, you're so full with the protein, with the if you're a non-vegetarian with eggs, if you're not non-vegetarian, then you have to eat a lot. Vegetarians, it's very
Difficult.
there are vegetarian bodybuilders, there are vegan bodybuilders. So these are people who are really eating all the right stuff all the time. And of course, we need cheat days. Ice cream nahi khaya, so it will not work. I'm telling you, it will not work. Ice cream mujhe pasand hai, whatever sweet. So cheat days are very important. Have one cheat day. And, to manipulate the calories you consume, right? So is it another purpose? Kshitij, it's really not so much about calories. In my case, I've seen I have lost weight as in lost fat by increasing our calories. I've increased calories and my weight has gone down.
Same here.
So
Yeah.
you have experienced, Adil. You were telling me on our flight back from Goa, I think 2 years back, you left sugar and then you had to eat so much to maintain your weight.
Correct. And right now also, I mean, I eat so much and then I lost about 5 kgs. I was like 70, 71. And when I started looking into my health seriously, last 1.5 years, I actually started eating more and losing weight. And now I've maintained it. Now I want to gain back the 5 kilos with muscle weight and not with fat.
Yeah.
So that's another goal.
Compound exercises, definitely. I'll send you a video on compound exercises also. And Kshitij, yes, the reason is the insulin. When you have simple carbs, so your body releases a lot of insulin. And insulin is anabolic, yes. Without insulin, you cannot build muscle. Insulin is anabolic. You need the right spike of insulin. But when you have too much insulin in your body, then it will hinder glycagon. बहुत सारी चीजें, बहुत सारे हार्मोन्स को ये डिस्टर्ब कर देगा, जिससे कि हमारी मसल बिल्डिंग नहीं हो पाएगी. So simple carbs have a lot of other problems also. If we come to the mental health side, then simple carbs and mental health is another topic altogether. So that is really worrisome. So simple carbs we need to restrict. If we talk about mental health, if we talk about metabolic health, if we talk about muscle building, हर चीज में simple carb नीचे आने चाहिए. If you measure your macronutrients, अगर आप measure करें, आप कितना protein ले रहे हैं. Adil is very active in the weight management program. So Adil would know people have 90-95% of their diet is carbs. और हम यहाँ बात कर रहे हैं when we are talking about one gram of protein per kg of body weight also, it's a huge shift for people. So it will take time. अपने आप को अगर आप from fat to fit, it will take I think at least 6 months, like Adil was mentioning about the slight edge principle.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen immediately. Nothing happens immediately. So I think one of the best books what I found interesting is with the Slight Edge, where it says, I mean, do simple things consistently and you get great results. So I think that's exactly what happened in my journey towards fitness. And if you talk about the 100 push-ups, but that's applicable for anything, anything in life. So because nowadays everyone wants everything instant, yeah. So सब कुछ अभी चाहिए. So
Microwave.
so that's a little difficult for people to digest. I mean, why can't I get fit, within a month, or anything with regards to health, fitness, or anything in life?
Yes, you're right. So, Angad is asking, does caloric surplus really work? No, it does not work, because what is important is the quality of calories. Like Angad knows it, of course. So, the quality of calories is very, very important. Again, insulin maintain karna hai hame, because if you have a lot of carbs in your food, I was following someone, and this guy was talking about calorie surplus. So I started working on my calories, and the weight gain I got was not muscle mass. I knew when I looked at my waist, I knew this is not WAIST, this is WASTE. So some waste idhar aa gaya tha. So that was because I was working on calorie surplus, wherein we have to work on our macronutrients. We have everything the other way. ठीक perspective नहीं है हमारा. When we look at food, we have to look with the right perspective. We have to look at the macronutrients, not how much we eat. कोई oversimplification नहीं आ जाता है. Should my level of workout increase with caloric surplus so my body doesn't get used to it? Yeah, Sahil, you have to, again, progressive overload. When we talk about weight training, you have to, your form has to be right, of course. I don't have very good form, but I make it up in my metabolic overload. मेरा form कभी भी ठीक नहीं रहा, but मेरा metabolic load बहुत रहता है. So, Sahil, what you need to do is, when you increase your macros, so your weightlifting ability will definitely go up. And it is like a virtuous cycle. The more you lift, the better you eat. The more you lift, but you have to make a conscious decision. Conscious decision आपको एक लेना होगा that you will give it. The way I think about it is, I give myself 6 months every time. So whenever I go to the gym or I eat right, I tell myself 6 more months. So after 1 month, I'll say, "Arey bana nahi kuch, 6 more months." After 1 month, I'll tell myself, because this is an infinite, you can never win over health. Ultimately, we'll lose one day. Jana hi hai. We'll die. So we can't have eternal health. Aisa kuch nahi hai. Every day we have to eat right. Every day we have to exercise right. We have to live in that 24-hour cycle. So, good. Adil, you want to add something?
No, that's it. I mean, there were also people who say that if you're really gymming a lot and all that, you eat anything you want. Kuch bhi kha lo, but exercise kar lo. That doesn't work. Because suddenly then after a few months or years, you will think, "Arey, isko heart attack aake mar gaya. Itna fit banda tha." Then people will say, "Arey, wo to gym karta tha. He was so healthy. Wo kaise mar gaya?" So I mean, that's also one of the reasons where there's a misunderstanding that you eat anything and then you exercise and that's okay. So I don't think that's okay. So that's just one of my
very, very key point, because I think whatever you do in the gym, you can waste all your effort by eating wrong. बोलते ना, you cannot outwork a bad diet.
correct.
That's good. So thank you so much, Adil. Thanks for your time. Thanks for sharing. We'll do another video soon once you go to the next level, and
Sure.
all of us go to the next level. If you have any questions, everyone, we can take questions there if you have any. But I think ho gaya. So connect with the person who's invited you here, or we have this on Facebook also. So if you have any questions, you can put there. So thanks, Adil. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks a lot, Shivjot. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Adil.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.